Hello, everybody. So, I'm here today, not for y'all to judge my hair. Please don't do that. um, anyway, I am here to tell the story about why I moved to Texas. Now, I'm gonna try my best not to say any names because people get offended when you say their name, but I feel like they only get offended because the truth hurts, or they feel like they got something to add but they can't add it. I really don't care. So let's start back in 2019. I moved to Texas in 2019. Back in 2017, my brother and his wife, or shall I say, my sister-in-law and my brother, decided to move down here to Texas. Now, Penny. Now, she has family here, she got a little bit of family here in Texas, and my brother does not. So, me and my sister-in-law was like really tight, and I guess everybody will want somebody close that they communicate with every day or have a good relationship with to be near them. And so they started to ask me about moving down here to Texas. Yo, I don't know why I choose to sit right here. Probably because I got other stuff going on in the house and I ain't want to have all this clutter on there. But anyway, so I thought, it'll be a new beginning. At the time, my oldest son was acting out, getting into trouble, doing some rebel things. And so, a lot of the times, I was stressed out about it. Every parent is going to worry about their child, no matter how defiant a kid can get. We're going to worry. It's our kid. We brought life into this world and we don't want to see anybody else take it. So that was kind of my mindset at the time. And he was he was a teenager going into, his more adolescent years or pre-adulthood years. He was 15 when we was coming out here. Or maybe 15, going on 16. Maybe, something like that. So anyway, 2017, the questions started to roll in. You should move down here. My oldest niece on my brother's family was graduating. And so I was going to come down here to see how Texas was. And when I say down here, it's because we from up there. We from up north. I'm from Chicago. So yes. We was gonna come down here to Texas. And I was gonna come and just see how it is, and stuff just didn't work out. It was like leading up to that, I was confident, like, yeah, I can come down there or whatever. But it was like as we got closer to the day, a whole bunch of other stuff started rolling out. Stuff just wasn't lining up to go. So we didn't go. 2018 come, the question's still coming. When you move down here, when you come down here. Oh yeah, I gotta sneeze. And I still hadn't really made up my mind because I had just opened up my daycare and I was just getting clients. And so at this point, I was kind of putting it off of moving. Also, a huge reason why I did not want to leave Chicago. It had nothing to do with family or friends. It had more so to do with my mom. A lot of y'all do not know the story behind my mom. My mom, I can't really say it without giving a backstory. So let's just say I didn't grow up with my mom. I was separated from my mom at the age of 10, and I was living with another woman who I called my guardian. So that was that. So the reason why I didn't want to leave is because I was hoping and praying that I would find my mom or she would come back looking for us. And the truth of the story was it had already been 20 years and I was still stuck in this mindset that she will come back to Chicago looking for us, because she wasn't in Chicago. They had moved to Kansas and then they ended up in Nashville. So that was a huge reason why I did not want to leave Chicago, because I didn't want to miss the opportunity of finding my mom, or my mom coming back and somebody say, hey, I saw your mom, she looking for y'all. And then, I would have the opportunity. But I never gave up hope of that. I feel like no matter where I'm at in life, that if it is meant for my mom to resurface or be in my life, that it'll happen. And so I had to go through a lot with my mental to be able to walk away, and I was not ready. And so in 2019, I was asked again, like, when, you gonna come down here? Come on, come down here. Your brother wants a family. And so I was like, okay, cool. But at the time, my sister was living with me, and I was having a little dispute with her, because at first she was staying with my niece, and then she moved in with me because they didn't see eye to eye. It was two different stories. My niece told me how she felt, and my sister told me how she felt, and I figured to just help was, if my sister want to come stay with me, she can, and she did. Well, in the process of my sister staying with me, I had a full-blown daycare in my home. So a majority part of my house was used for said daycare. And so I explained that to my sister and, whatnot. Now, I didn't ask for any money per se, okay? I just told her to help out when she can, or with what she can. And I don't know if a lot of people look at help out when you can with what you can as if you don't ask me, I'm not giving. But I feel like that's where we were at that point of time. Now, she has stayed with me, I would say approximately 4 to 5 months. I don't know, from like February-ish to like June. Yeah, to June. So, and let me tell y'all how stressful I was in this moment. My sister, and at the time her partner, it was a lot of us. It was me, and I had my 3 kids, okay? That's 4. My sister only has 1 child, so it's her and her child. Mind y'all, this is a 3-bedroom apartment. Well, it's like a basement, a garden apartment, basement apartment, whatever y'all want to call it. And she had started to want her partner to come over, and her partner had 3 kids. And so it was the partner and 3 more kids. 10. And I don't know if y'all understand how much money it takes to feed daycare children. I think at the time I only had 2 or 3. But that was breakfast they came in eating, and I had to feed them lunch and 2 snacks. Okay? Now, I was getting a stipend for probably about $2 to $3 extra $100 outside of my pay for daycare. And then I signed up for the food program, and I would get like maybe another $200-300 vouchers for food in there. But what they did was, the voucher, basically they sent me a check and I would put it in my bank account and go shopping for food. Now this is all cash. We all know paying for food with cash is very expensive. So I don't know how y'all grew up, but I grew up on food stamps. Okay, my mama was qualified and she got it. Don't judge me, judge your mama. If she didn't get it, that's y'all problem. We had it. Okay, now Um, at this point in time, I wasn't receiving food stamps for my kids because of the income that I was receiving for the food voucher through the program and the food program, plus on top of my monthly payment for working, having my daycare, and also having my daycare open from 6:30 a.m. to, I want to say, I say I closed my doors at 10, but it was really, I could be open to midnight. But I closed my doors at 10 because a lot of my parents didn't work past 8 p.m. or whatever. So I gave them to 10 to come get their kids. Now, at the time, I didn't have any kids staying late. They will be gone by 6:30. By 6:30, probably 5 something. So, I would lay down, go to bed, and I would get up and go to a part-time job from 11 p.m. to 5 o'clock in the morning. And then I would come home. And it was right down the street from where I worked at, so it wasn't that bad. Like, it was like maybe a 10-minute drive or 15-20 minute on a bus, but that was it. And I used to take the bus, or sometimes I'll walk if I leave out early enough. But being 11 o'clock at night in Chicago, we know that wasn't safe. So with my sister staying with me, I wanted her to, either drop me off or let me use her car. And I was going to put gas in the vehicle. Now, I'm telling y'all this backstory because it leads up to why I left. During this time, I don't think my sister saw us bumping heads, but we were bumping heads. Because I was like, dang, she don't want me to use her car. And I'm not going to say she never let me use her car. It was times where she let me use her car, okay? And there was times where she would drop me off and pick me up. But for the most part, it was like I was giving her gas money. And it was like I was always giving her gas money because she would go out south. Now, I stayed up north. She would go out south and go hang out with her friends or do whatever she doing. And she had enough gas money to do whatever else she was doing and taking me to work. So I felt like I was being used at this point. I'm being used. Every time I got to use your car, I got to put gas in it when I done gave you gas money. Now, $10 ain't a whole lot of money, but to take me 10 minutes away, that I'm paying you basically $1 a minute. That's how I looked at it. And I was getting frustrated because I am my mama's baby girl and both my sisters are older than me. And so I felt some type of way. I felt some type of way because it was a repeated cycle. Me and my sisters always were into it, especially around this time from 2016 to 2019. We stayed into it about something. It was always something. If it wasn't me, my sisters, it was me, my nieces, or niece. And it was just a lot. And so, fast forward a little bit. After we started having a little car issue or whatever, my sister invited her her partner didn't live with me, but she would come over on the weekend sometimes. Now, the first time I told her, it's okay, she come over that one day. But then she asked if she could spend a night. Then that spend a night kept adding on to more spend a nights. Woo! Okay. So it was like every time I turn around, this girl wanted her partner to spend a night. And I was getting frustrated because to feed my 3 kids, her 3 kids, and my sister 1 kid was a lot of money. And on top of daycare. When I tell y'all, I did the calculations of how much food was being eaten in my house in one weekend. It was the amount of food that you would eat in a month. 1 month. And y'all say, how? You get up, you cook breakfast. You cooking breakfast for 7 kids and 2 adults. Because mind y'all, I'm not there. Well, or I didn't eat. Or if I did eat, like, we'll just say 10 people, okay? 10 people. Breakfast. Then you turn around. Lunch for 10 people. Dinner for 10 people. And that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Food ain't cheap. So I was pissed because food disappearing. And she's like, I cook for everybody. It doesn't matter, But when you feeding 10 people 3 days straight, that's 30 meals a day. Okay, that's 30 plates a day. Okay, breakfast, lunch, dinner. That's 30 plates a day. 30 plates times 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's 90 plates. The math wasn't math, and you ain't gonna sit here and tell me, well, I'm cooking for everybody and I'm the only one providing food. And I was pissed. At this point, I was upset, but I really didn't say anything because I feel like this is my sister. And I always was like that. I always was like that. I would tell y'all right now, I didn't never want to see my sisters in a bad position. I didn't care if I had to watch their kids, if I had to go beat somebody's ass or do whatever it was. I was there for my sisters. It wasn't until 2019 when I realized they didn't have my back like I had theirs. They didn't have my back like I had theirs. My sisters had never did anything for me that I did for them. I can count on one hand how many times I called my sisters to help me fight and they showed up. But they can call me baby. I'm driving from the west side to the south side, from the north side to the south side. It didn't matter if it took me 15, 20 minutes. I was on my way. And that's how I was, because I'm still family oriented. Don't get me wrong, but there is some things that I will not do for you. And I'm not just saying that towards my sisters. I'm saying that towards anybody. It is a lot of things that I will not do for people anymore because of past history. After I did the food calculations and stuff, I was talking to my sister-in-law and we was talking about stuff, you know, the perspective of it, you know, how I view things, how it looks to other people, and we all bored down to just basically like you being used and you need to put your foot down. And even still, I didn't want to do that. But it got to the point where it was like, it was just, I don't know, it just got to the point where I was just fed up. Okay, I was fed up. And so what happened was, I came home, I told my sister, I said, hey, can you give me $200 this month? And she was like, well, I got some apartments I'm be looking at and all this stuff. And when I'm done looking at them apartments, so I'll let you know. I knew I wasn't going to get no money from her. Okay. She had already started planning her escape route. She had already planned to leave without giving me anything. She had already planned to just use up whatever she can there and bounce on me. And I was pissed. I was pissed. So I packed whatever clothes she had left and I put them in the hallway. Because you're not coming back in my house. I mean, I'm supplying laundry detergent. And yeah, sometimes she would buy laundry detergent. It wasn't the laundry detergent I use. She would buy toothpaste. Ain't toothpaste I use. You know, it was a lot. And my sister acted like she never had money. And really, she had money. From February to June, you done got your income tax check. You've been working at overnight or whatever she was working at. I can't remember if it was Walmart or what, but she was working somewhere. Now you doing all this working, traveling back and forth. I even offered to take my niece in, enroll her in school, and that way she be able to go to school with my nephew, and my sister can go live whatever she want to live and do whatever. She didn't want to do that. It was just, I was just at the point where I was just frustrated. And so my kids got out of school, I want to say June 26th. And probably 2 weeks before June 26th, I called my sister-in-law up. I said, hey, do that offer still stand for me to come down there, me and my kids? She said, yeah. And I said, okay. Y'all, when I tell y'all I was packed up and moved out by July 2nd, we were gone. And my sister was like, well, I don't think she told me. Maybe she told somebody else, or maybe I saw it somewhere else. I don't know. But basically, she was saying that I'm not giving you $200 and you finna move to Texas. It didn't matter whether you gave me $200 and I was moving to Texas or not. You lived in my house for 5 months and didn't pay no rent, didn't supply no food. And at one time you bought laundry detergent and one time you bought toothpaste. So it was like, baby, I got bills. I got light bill, gas bill, this bill, that bill, and you couldn't help me. And I struggled paying all those bills by myself. And I'm thankful to say right now, today in 2025, those bills are all now settled. I don't have any past bills. I then cleared that debt up, and I would never in my life allow somebody to come live with me without boundaries set and without payment being paid. Now, can I allow people to stay with me rent free and just help them just to be helping them? Yeah, I can. But I would never go to the extent to allow you to stay 5 months and not expect you to pay anything. And one thing that I've learned, see, my personality is nothing in life is free. And so with nothing in life being free, I know that you can't go nowhere in this world and live for free. Even if you go live with a friend, or something, you giving up something. You giving them something. Either you got rules you need to apply by. Be in by 9 because my mama wake up at 10. Be sleep by 10. I don't want to hear her mouth. Or you can't eat after this time. Or we ain't giving you no key. You got to be in before everybody go to sleep. It's always some rules you got to apply by. Don't eat after a certain time. If you go buy your own tissue or your own toilet paper, it's going to cost you to live with other people. Period, point blank. Okay? Period, point blank. It's going to cost. You don't live with nobody for free. And that's what I had to learn. So when I packed my shit up and I trucked it to Texas in a U-Haul for 17 hours straight with me and my 3 kids, when I tell y'all it was nonstop driving, it was nonstop driving. And just a little fun fact about me, I have a Class B CDL license. I did not when I tell y'all I didn't stop to sleep, I was in tunnel vision. I had to get from Chicago to Texas ASAP. And the only time I ever stopped was for gas. And I woke my kids up, go pee, grab a snack, whatever. We doing this. We tried to spend at least no more than 15, 20 minutes at a gas station. Because, baby, when you stop at about 30, 40 minutes in your trip, and I'm like, why? So that little 12-hour drive, 15-hour drive, whatever it was, it was like almost 17 hours for us. Because we filled up before I left, and it was like only $65. But I noticed when we was driving, the gas in that U-Haul truck was at 3/4 real quick. So, and I know that once you get to driving, you open up that extra valve for that extra gas space. Y'all don't ask me what it's called. You know, if you're a driver, you know what I'm talking about. When you fill up your tank on a regular basis, you probably get like, okay, example, my car, I get like 398, 400, no more than 400 miles in a full tank. When I'm on the road, it jumps up to like possibly close to 500. It'd be like 470 something, 480 something. And I got a Honda Accord, so it do real good on the road. Now, and that's a full tank. And I don't never let my tank drop below 1/4 when I'm traveling. So as I was traveling, every time I hit a 1/4 tank, that's when I would look for a gas station. It was this one strip where we was driving, and it was no gas station for like 70 miles. And the dashboard said like I had like 100 miles before empty. So I knew we would make it, but I was just panicking because I'm like, it's really 70 miles, no gas station. So we couldn't pee. We couldn't stop to use the bathroom, do nothing for 70 miles. And that was fine because the kids were asleep. I was up driving. I had my music on, GPS on. I'm just driving and listen to my music. I'm going. And so when we got here to Texas, like I was real relieved. But getting to Texas and moving in was a little bit of drama, okay? I got here And in a matter of a few days, I had already knew this shit wasn't gonna work. Y'all, I knew it wasn't gonna work. For one, I didn't take into account that me and my brother really never had a relationship. He grew up in a separate home than I did. He grew up with his father's side of the people. We grew up with a fucking stranger. So, whatever. That's another story. So, if y'all like these, I call them Miss T Talks. So, if y'all like these Miss T Talks, and y'all got to start asking me for subjects. So, I try to give y'all subjects, but it's so much to talk about. I don't be remembering. Y'all got to jog my memory what to talk about. I guarantee you, anything you can think of, I done been through it. I got a story for it. So, anyway, back to the story. So we get here. I want to say within the first 2 weeks, we were already fussing at each other for the simple fact I came down here, I had no car. My brother had 2 vehicles. One was like an old school car. It was gift to him from his dad. And then he had like a Tahoe truck or something. I don't know. I don't remember the name of it. But it was a truck. And I offered like to take him to work so I could run errands and do stuff. Like, I'm trying to get on my feet. I didn't come down here to live with nobody. Okay. Now, mind you, when I first came down here, my plan was to go to the shelter because I knew the shelter that I talked to on the phone, they said I had to physically be in Texas for them to take me in. They would put me in this program, a 3-month program where I stayed in the shelter. And after them 3 months, you know, based on if I was following rules and stuff like that, you know, my behavior, my kids and all that stuff, they would help me find housing. Well, by the time I got here, I had asked them this back in like the beginning of June or something when I was trying to make up my mind whether I was going to go or not. And they were like, you know, you have to physically be here because we need you to come to the office, do the paperwork, da, da, da. So when I physically got there, basically they had no room. And so plan B was to kick in. I talked to my sister-in-law, said, hey, the shelter don't have no space right now. They said that, you know, basically they can't hold spaces for me, which I knew when I got here. So my plan B was to just stay here until I try to get up on my feet. Plan C was to just go to the police station if I couldn't stay and let the police contact their emergency sources to house me until whatever. Plan D was to get like a hotel room or something and rent out that hotel room. Now, y'all probably say, why that order? Because I didn't want to have to come out of my pocket a whole lot of money. And I knew getting that shelter was going to cause me to need a job right away. And I had applied for SSI when I first got here. So I wanted to wait for the determination. I don't know. I don't qualify for it, but one of my kids do. And so I was trying to see if he can get qualified for it because he's real bad asthmatic. And he didn't get qualified for it. So I was like, fine, whatever. So she said, yeah, I could stay there, you know, whatever. Y'all, my mindset was find a job. And within a couple of months, after waiting for SSI, it took them about 3 months to tell me no. And y'all, I wasn't smart. I could have appealed and kept appealing and kept appealing and kept appealing and let them pay me that back pay. But I don't have time for the government. Government, they pick and choose. They'll give a crackhead SSI before they get somebody, a kid who's real sick and always sick SSI. It's just crazy. So anyway, a couple of months after that, I want to say 5 months after being down here, I found a job. I ain't like that job. I think it was Amazon. I couldn't do it. I left. Found another job. That job was at like a halfway house. I stayed there. I actually bought my first car with my first paycheck from that job because me and my brother was always getting into it about his car. I would put gas in and he'll go run errands and do whatever, use up all the gas. Now, mind y'all, I was right back where I started, right? With people using me. Because I was not required to pay rent, I made it my business to give something as long as I was sitting in this house. And so while I was in this house, What I did was I made sure the house was clean. Don't come in here talking about some, I'm just in your house all day doing nothing, baby. I clean that house from head to toe every fucking day because it was some questionable things going on that I didn't care for. The kids was just leaving hair all in the bathroom, toilet be nasty. I don't live like that. If I get in the tub, I want the tub clean. When I get out the tub, I clean the tub. Like, it was just, I don't know how they perceive things to be. I don't know how that looked to them, but to me, I ain't like it. So I cleaned it. And I don't know about y'all, I clean with bleach. When I clean my house, you're going to be coughing, choking, eyes burning. You're going to need to step outside for some air. That's how I clean. It don't bother me too much. My nose may run a little bit, but that's fine. I'm cleaning with bleach. Bleach and water. Maybe a little bit of soap. That's it. And I did that every single day. I guess because the kids wasn't doing their chores because I was always doing them. She asked me to back up a little bit. I did. I started cleaning up every other day. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. And to contribute, well, once I got down there, I was eligible for food stamps and stuff like that because I basically was homeless. And I was getting like $600 and some dollars. Maybe $700. I think it was about $700 and some dollars because I was spending $600 in food for the house. Now, I don't eat beef and I don't eat pork. I only eat chicken and seafood. And every now and again, I would eat turkey, like turkey burgers, turkey lunch meat, things of that nature. So I would spend $600 for the household. Everybody in that house can eat that food. That's y'all food. Don't touch my shit. I spent the other $100 and maybe $12, $15, $20, whatever it was, on myself. Now, I would spend that money on myself, and we started having problems with that because the kids was eating my turkey burgers and eating stuff that belonged to me. And I only had a small basket in the deep freezer. Y'all know the basket that come with a deep freezer, that's that. Mind you, because I moved in and I was moving in, it was 4 extra mouths to feed. I bought a deep freezer. I bought a deep freezer. Now, when I moved up here, I had reached out to this program who was going to give me a voucher to help me with my traveling fees. And they gave me $500, I think like $500 and some dollars to move here. I bought a deep freezer with that money, and I told my sister-in-law that it can stay in the house. They can have it, you know. So I done bought a deep freezer, and for 8 months, well, I would say 7, because that 8th month, I didn't put no food in the house. I was tired of putting food in the house by 8 months. 7 months in, 7 months straight, I bought a deep freezer, and I supplied $600 worth of food. From the time I got there to the time I left. That 8th month is when I found me a place. This is the house I'm in right now today. I've been here since 2020. I've been here since March of 2020. And when I got this place, I was like, dang, I need a deep freezer. But I had gave that deep freezer to them, so I ended up buying me another one. I asked my brother if he can go get it because I didn't want to pay for delivery. I'm talking about I had to pull teeth. And anytime I ask my brother for anything and he tell me no, I literally have to ask his wife to ask him to do something, because that's the only way he'll do it is if she tell him to do it. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I can't stand people that don't have a mindset, like can't make decisions for themselves. Like, I ain't never played with nobody in my life. If you ask me to do something, I take that seriously. I'm not that type of person where if you ask me to do something, I'm like, oh, nah, I can't do it, Then, but if somebody else come ask me to do it for you, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it. No, if I said no the first time, I'm going to tell that person no too. So apparently, you know, I don't know what the case be. But, and even just recently, I had the same encounter, y'all. I don't understand his perspective of things. I don't know if it's just immaturity or what it is, but I don't care to bump heads with people no more. I walk away. I'm gonna leave you behind. I don't have time to argue with people no more. I don't have time to be in energy spaces or just spaces, period, where the energy ain't what I feel like it should be, I'm just not going to be there. I'm going to remove myself every single time. And from that moment, I felt like it was always something. Anytime I asked my brother to do something, it was 1,000 excuses before he would actually do anything for me. I had to ask my neighbors to help me do some stuff because I wanted him to come change my tire or I wanted him to take my old tire off, put my spare tire on so I can go take the tire to the tire shop. All day. I had to wait all day. And by then my neighbors was coming over to help me. And yeah, I'm so grateful for the neighbors that I have, because when I first moved here, they came over, introduced themselves to me, and they were really nice and really cool. And when I say this man and his wife has helped me tremendously, every time something would happen drastically, they had my back. And they just know me from being across the street from them. So shout out to Jimmy and her husband Nathan. I love y'all dearly. Y'all just truly do not know. But yes, I had a lot of times where it was situations where they stepped in where I feel like my family should have been able to help me. Now, I'm not gonna say no, I could say that. My brother don't do nothing unless you got absolutely beg him to do it. And I'm not a beggar. I'm going to ask you if you don't want to do it. You know, I'll find somebody else to do it. And that's the beauty about me. I'm going to get it done regardless. If I got to do it or I find somebody else to do it, whatever the case may be. I'm talking about, y'all, it's, when it comes to my brother, I said I opened that door to allow a relationship to be had. When I came down here, all I wanted was a relationship to be had with my brother. And he has done some things to me that I would never forgive him for. Well, not physically to me, but I would never forgive him for. He said that I hold grudges. But yes, that situation, what he did to my, at the time, 7-year-old son, I would never forgive him for it. Never. Never. Can I still have a relationship with him and not forgive him for that? Yes. Because I know I can't fuck with you like that. And y'all are like, what did he do? What did he do? What did he do? He took 2 BB guns and put them to my son's head. And my son was petrified. He was scared to death. And he was laughing. My brother was laughing. He thought it was funny. But you put 2 guns to a 7-year-old head, whether they were BB guns or not, that's not what was going through his mind. A 7-year-old kid from Chicago. That's not what was going through his mind. And my son honestly don't really even care to be in their presence. He don't care to go over their house, because I really think that traumatized him. And I honestly feel like, you know, I'm not being a good parent when we have to go over there. And my son, he does disassociate himself from the crowd. He does not be in the presence of my brother. Not too much. He may say something here and there, but he usually upstairs with the teenagers or young adults. He does not typically be in the presence of my brother. And when I talked to him at that time, once we moved, you know, and I asked him, you know, how did he feel about stuff like that, and he just told me he was scared. He said, I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what would happen. And so, yeah, I would never forgive my brother for that. And that happened like within the first couple of weeks we were here in Texas. So it's been about it's going on 6 years that happened. And I don't care what nobody else say. And I don't care about how nobody else feel. I got family on my page, on my YouTube page, that see my videos. And I don't care if they go back and tell him. He could watch the video and see that I said it. And I would oblige. Yes, I said it. And it is what it is. But over these last few years, I stopped trying to push a relationship with my brother because I don't see him pushing back. I don't see him trying with me. So until I see a change, it is what it is. That's pretty much what it is. But you know, that was my little journey down here to Texas. And ever since I moved in my house in 2020, like, I would have like little get-togethers here. I have game nights, family nights, do stuff here, and they would all come over and stuff, and we would have a good time, you know. So, like I said, I have my ups, I have my downs with everybody in life, but my relationship with my siblings are very rocky. Now, my sister that I went through all that hell with right before I moved down here, we used to get into it a lot of times when we were younger. We used to beat the shit out of each other. We used to fight all the time. And I don't know if it was because we close in age. She's older, but we are close in age. Like I said, I'm my mama's baby girl. I don't know what it was. We always was into it about something. It was always something. But right now, 2025, our relationship has gotten better. I mean, we don't talk every day, but we do text each other. We send each other like little memes on Facebook and stuff. Like, we still communicate. And I would say that it's a whole lot better. We don't argue. I have not argued with my sisters since we started to rebuild our relationship. Since 2000, maybe, I think we started talking in 2023, somewhere around there, 2023. And for the last 2 years or so, 2024, 2025, so far 2025, we've been doing good. We ain't been arguing. Me and my older sister, we do a whole lot more. Me and my older sister do a whole lot more talking than me and my other older sister does. The oldest sister, we talk a little bit more than the other older sister I have. It's only 3 girls. I'm the baby. So, and I keep saying I'm the baby because I am the baby. I was never treated like I was the baby. I was always treated like I was the oldest. I've always been the more responsible one. I've always had to be the one to make those tough decisions. Now, my sisters may not agree with that statement, and that's fine. But I know. Now, everybody got a different perspective of their relationships with me, and that's fine too. But yes, I'm happy with how I dealt with things over time, because I was being manipulated and used, and now you can't use me or manipulate me. Because, baby, I'm going to tell you where you got on at that train, where you can get off. I'm going to tell you, don't let that door hit you with a good line, the good Lord split you. I'm going to tell you something, make you know that I ain't for that BS, okay? I ain't for it. But yeah, that was my journey here, and it was a rough journey. But once I got on these feet and got to running, baby, ain't no stopping me now. I'm on the road to, you know, get my dreams and stuff met. And so, like I said, it is what it is. I have a better relationship with 2 of my sisters and 1 of my other brothers. I do have some other brothers that I don't really talk to. I don't know what the issue is with them. I don't really even care to know what the issue is with them. It is what it is. I'm going to love on those who love on me. And from this point forward, we ain't seeking nothing but positivity. So if you not coming with positivity, if you not coming from a different perspective, a change of mind, change of behavior, don't fuck with me. I know how you are. And if you ain't changing nothing about yourself, I don't want no parts of it. And a lot of people will be like, oh, well, what about you? I've changed a lot about me. My attitude is never going to change. How I handle my attitude with different people, that has changed a lot. Like I said, I walk away from a lot of stuff. I don't address a lot of stuff. But baby, don't ever put me in a position to throw some hands, because I will. I'm not afraid to fight. Never have been, never will be. But at this big old age, I feel the need to walk away first, because I feel like if I gotta fight you, it's gotta be a dire need to fight you. And if we gotten to the point where we need to fight each other or lay hands on each other, then we don't need to be around each other. We need to bounce, move around. And so that's my mindset now. But is it in me? Yes, it is. But y'all, I gotta run. It was nice talking to y'all today. If y'all have any questions, put them in the comments. Any subjects y'all want to talk about, put them in the comments. If you want to know a specific thing about me, put it in the comments, okay? Because we're going to have some more Miss T's talks, okay? We got to have more of these Miss T's talks, because this is a part of my healing journey. This is a part of me helping other people who are dealing with their family, doing the same things that I've been through. And they may need to know how to get up out of that, you know? And I'm the person to talk to, because I could be, you know, the mediator. But y'all go ahead, have y'all a blessed, wonderful day. And I hope to see y'all in the comment section very soon. Okay? Love, peace, and sanity.